They say one act of kindness can change your life, but what if it changes two lives forever? Imagine this, it's a cold winter night. Snow falls quietly against a worn-down windowpane. Inside a small, two-room home, a tired father is tucking his little boy into bed. His hands are cracked from labor, his clothes old and patched, and the pantry almost empty, but his heart is full. Because despite all the hardship, he still believes in goodness, in doing the right thing, even when life hasn't been kind to him. Now, outside on that very night, a young woman stands alone in the freezing cold. Her car has broken down on a deserted road. She's lost, she's scared, and her phone is dead. No coat thick enough to shield her from the bitter wind, no shelter in sight, until she knocks on that poor man's door. What happens next? That's where our story begins. The man could have ignored the knock. He had every reason to. He didn't know her. He had barely enough food for himself and his son. The world had taught him to be cautious, especially around strangers. But something in him refused to close the door on someone in need. Maybe it was the way she shivered. Maybe it was because he knew what it felt like to be abandoned, to have no one. So, he welcomed her in. No questions, no judgment, just a warm blanket, a bowl of soup, and a spot by the heater. The young woman said very little. She thanked him, quietly. She watched the way he cared for his son, with gentleness, with sacrifice. That night, she slept on the couch, while the man stayed awake, worrying if he'd made the right choice. What he didn't know was that the girl wasn't just any stranded traveler. She was the daughter of one of the richest men in the city. Yes, she had wealth, more than he could imagine. But that night, she discovered something money had never given her. The warmth of an ordinary home, the peace of honest love, the strength of a father's devotion to his child. You see, her life had been one of privilege, but also loneliness. Her father, the millionaire, gave her everything except time, affection, and the safety of a real connection. But in that small home, in the middle of nowhere, she saw something rare, real human kindness. The next morning, the girl left quietly, leaving behind only a note, "Thank you for your kindness. You reminded me what truly matters." And just like that, she was gone. Weeks passed. Life returned to its quiet rhythm. The man worked double shifts to keep food on the table. His boy grew a little taller, and though the man never said it aloud, he often wondered what happened to that girl. Then one day, a black car pulled into their dirt driveway. Out stepped a well-dressed man, followed by the girl. This time, she wasn't cold or lost. She was smiling. She introduced her father, the millionaire. And in front of the poor man and his son, she told him everything. About the night he had saved her without even knowing it. About the kindness that broke through the walls she didn't know she had. About how one man's compassion had changed her. And then, she handed him a letter. Inside, a job offer, a new house, a full scholarship for his son. But more than anything, gratitude. Because his small act of kindness had restored her faith in people. It had shown her that love lives not in mansions, but in the hearts of the humble. So, what's the lesson here? We live in a world that often tells us to look out for ourselves, to guard our hearts, to close our doors. We're told that if you're poor, you have nothing to give. That kindness is weakness. That strangers are dangerous. That if you help someone, you'll only be used or forgotten. But that is a lie. This story teaches us that you don't need wealth to be generous. You don't need comfort to give comfort. Sometimes the smallest light shines brightest in the deepest dark. That father didn't have a mansion. But he had a heart wide enough to let someone in, and that changed everything. To all the single parents out there, struggling to make it day by day, your love is wealth beyond measure. To those who feel unseen, unappreciated, unheard, know this, the right people see you. Your kindness does not go unnoticed. Your strength, though quiet, is unshakable. And to everyone listening, never underestimate the power of one good deed. Because the truth is, when you choose kindness, when you open your door even when life tells you to lock it, you create miracles. You may not always see the impact. But somewhere, somehow, someone's life will be different because of you. So open the door, offer the soup, give the blanket, be the story someone tells when they talk about the time their life was changed.